Good morning, everybody. And again, to our frontline personnel that's out there doing their job day in and day out, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And to the non-essential personnel staying at home, abiding by the social isolation, staying 6 feet away from everybody, wearing your mask when you're out, thank you, because that's what's keeping our numbers down and keeping us moving. But sadly enough, we now have another Albany County resident that passed away last night, a gentleman in his 50s, and that makes 47 now. My condolences and prayers go out to the family, and it goes out to the other 46 families, as always, in these difficult times to be dealing with the situation we're in, but more or less dealing with losing a loved one that you couldn't be at the hospital with in their final hours. And it's a tough time. It's a tough time for everybody. So again, to the resident we lost last night, my heart and my prayers go out to you and your family, and to the 46. So it makes it difficult as we go forward. And obviously the weather's getting nice. It was nice yesterday and today. It's going to be a beautiful day out today, and the week's going to be pretty nice too. So more and more people are going to get out. And I want to remind everyone, when you're out, especially on a rail trail, I know that the governor put out that you have to have a mask in public if you can't keep your 6 feet distance. On the rail trail, you should just have, or the river walk, or wherever you're out walking your neighborhood, you should keep a mask in your pocket. So if you're approaching other people, you can put that mask on. One, for your safety, first and foremost, and two, for the safety of people walking by you. Especially I see a lot of runners out there. They're out there running. You can run and not wear a mask, but you're breathing heavier. And if you're running behind somebody and you're trailing them, you can be sucked in their area or with the particles that they put out. So these are things that you have to keep in mind. And we want you out there. We want people to feel somewhat normal and get out of the house and get some fresh air. But you have to do it smart and you have to do it wise. Again, remember this is a marathon, not a sprint. And everything's changed around us. But as of today, we have 1,199 cases. We're up 14 from yesterday, which is good. But we're trying to figure out sometimes in the weekend the numbers slow up. And I don't know if it's the lab results getting back or not, but it's a trend that we see. And then we kind of spike up a little bit more on Tuesday versus Sunday and Monday. But as of today also, we have 1,091 people in a mandatory quarantine, up 34 from yesterday. And we have 10 people under precautionary quarantine, down 1 from yesterday, which is also good news. Our Shaker Place nursing home stays the same. It has not changed, and we're 9, like I said yesterday, 9 workers recovered back to work, and 2 residents have recovered that are doing well. So, but some of the good news too: 2,589 people have completed quarantine. Out of those, 616 tested positive for the virus and have recovered. That's good. We're going in the right direction on that. There are now 30 people hospitalized with a hospitalization rate of 2.5. And we have 8 people currently in the ICU, the same as yesterday. That did not change. And you have to remember, as we continue to aggressively test, I want to thank my partners in Schenectady, Tony Jaginski, the chair of the legislature in Schenectady, and the county manager, Rory. And I want to thank Steve McCoy, our county executive over in Linsar County. We have to do this in a regional approach. And if we want to open up and everyone wants to get back to what they feel the norm is, we have to do this smartly. We have to do this through aggressively testing. And we have to do this together in a partnership. And the only way it's going to happen is in a partnership. And again, like I've said, reimagine what the workforce, restaurants, movie theaters, malls are going to look like. Concert events, which pretty much I don't think you'll see a concert here until probably sometime next year. Just because they got to figure that out, who's going to tour and what size are the concerts going to be going into the future until there's a test available. So that's going to change too. You got to wrap your mind around that. You got to figure out as you continue to move forward. It kind of reminds me of one of my favorite rides in Disney at Magic Kingdom, the Carousel of Progress. How we changed through the decades. And this is the same thing here. How are we going to change when this is all over with? What everything's going to look like. And we need to do that together. I want to thank everyone that has actually emailed us back or has said they had ideas how to reopen and their thoughts, because everything helps us, and everything helps us make that foundation so we can do this smartly, we can do it wisely, but we can do it protecting the safety and the health of the residents. They're my first two priorities. And we still got to operate government as we go forward smartly. So with Rite Aid in New Albany and Gilliland now, and working with Whitney Young with the mobile testing sites, and as you know, yesterday we announced the testing sites that are going to be done in Rensselaer County too, as well as here. We have to be aggressive what we're doing, and the only way we're going to do that is working together, getting things done. I've said this before, look, there's no time to play Monday quarterback, there's no time to point fingers. We have to take leadership, we have to move forward, we have to own it, and we have to figure it out. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know all the answers. I do not. But I rely on getting feedback from business owners, restaurant owners, business owners, bankers, and just people that work for companies that look at things differently. Again, we're in this together, and we're going to get out of this together if we work together. So also remember for Rite Aid, you have to go on and do the Rite Aid website. Our number, as always, for appointments is 465-4771. It's up on the slide. And as we continue to work with the mobile testing and get people testing, or get more testing in a partnership, the governor's office reached out to us yesterday and asked if we would work helping with nursing homes and other adult daycares of getting these tests aggressively. I've taken ownership of our nursing home. With most of the stuff you don't have to report under the DOH. We decided to be very, very transparent because first and foremost, the residents, families have a right to know, the workers have a right to know, and the public has a right to know how we're handling this. And it shouldn't be shocking because nursing homes have been ground zero overseas as well as everywhere else in this country of ours. So I'm shocked when everyone says, hey, look what's happening in nursing homes. Hey, did you not realize 6 months ago? We did, and we took every step to try to protect people. But most importantly, I want everyone to know that we are being as transparent and open about everything that we can be under HIPAA and all the other laws that we have to follow. So they asked if we would help out with testing in other nursing homes and the ones that are having major issues. We said yes, we would. And that's a directive that I'm going to be working with Dr. Whalen on, my team on, Larry Slacky from our nursing home, because we got our people trained that do the testing themselves. So I don't have to rely on the state coming in, so we can test somebody the minute we think something's wrong, or even if we don't and we're just testing workers just to make sure everyone's healthy. That's what we're doing. But we had to wait till we got more tests. So as we go forward, we will figure this out together. And I am concerned not just with Shaker Place. I'm concerned with all the nursing homes, Shreves and House, everything that's going on. We pay attention to, and we want to be there for them, and we want to be there for the residents of Albany County with their loved ones in that nursing home, and we're going to continue to address that. You're going to see more stuff coming out in a couple days on everything that we're doing. But another way we're going to get through this is partnering, and partnerships are key. And I had a couple people laughing at saying you're going to say partnership or count how many times you say yes, because it's going to take a partnership to get through this. It's going to take a partnership with me, with the Albany County Legislature, with all the mayors and supervisors, the common council members, the council members that are on in a variety of town boards around the county. All of us coming together and figuring out how we're going to do this, but most importantly, working with everyone. Nonprofits, working with the business owners, like I said, not to keep repeating it. And again, one of our good partnerships we've had going forward is with United Way, with the price gouging going on, helping feed families, getting people other information, the 211. Pete Gannon from United Way, again, is back here to talk about the grant going to the Whitney Young, talking about another issue, and talking about United Way's 518 day, and taking on a different look this year because it's going to be virtual versus in person and volunteer and stuff. So, Peter, if you want to talk about everything, please.
Sure. Thank you, County Executive. First things first, we'll get to how we're changing up 518 day momentarily, but want to talk a little bit about Whitney Young and how we're able to support the county executive's initiative to get more mobile testing throughout Albany County, and now we're seeing that move to Rensselaer County, which is great. As the seriousness of the COVID crisis grew, we joined with our partners at Community Foundation back in early March to sort of organize around what would the regional philanthropic response be to support leaders like County Executive McCoy and other political leaders throughout the region and the business community as well, and to help bring much needed resources to nonprofit organizations that we support under normal circumstances. Since we launched the Community COVID-19 Response Fund, we've raised over $800,000. And the thing that's most special, I think, about the fund is everything we've done has been with, in mind, trying to get resources out to the community as quickly as possible, financial resources out quickly as possible. So as I mentioned, we've now raised over $800,000. We've already deployed $650,000 of that. And that's gone to probably over 30 organizations, some of them like the Regional Food Bank, food pantries of the Capital Region, Capital Roots, who are on the front lines trying to make sure food access remains intact for the people who are dealing with the harshest impacts of COVID-19, both economically and from a health standpoint. And the county's been a great partner on that as well. When we convened last week, a group of probably 15 of us who make the decisions about this fund, all the decisions made about the fund are done in conjunction with county governments and throughout the Capital Region, with input from the county governments as well. And so one application we received was from Whitney Young for general operating support, and really caught our eye because of the work that they're doing with you, County Executive McCoy, to make sure that everybody who needs a test can get a test here in the Capital Region. You know, what we know about coronavirus, and there'll be a much longer debrief in the future, but it's disproportionately impacting the poor, as you'd expect any health pandemic to do, and it's disproportionately impacting people of color. And Dan, you've been a champion of issues that disproportionately impact underserved communities since your election to this position. How many years ago now?
It's 8 years going on 9.
9 years, and you've been a champion of this when you were in the legislature, and you were a champion of this because this is also how you grew up. A lot of people don't understand that about Dan. He understands these issues that, some of these issues that families, the working poor, are dealing with because it's how he grew up. And so we're proud to support Whitney Young on behalf of the United Way, on behalf of the Community Foundation for the Greater Capital Region, with our Community COVID Response Fund grant for $50,000 to support the county's partnership to get testing to everybody throughout Albany County, and now we're seeing that creep into Rensselaer County as well. So if you want to support this fund, there's still time to support it. I mentioned we've raised over $800,000. A large portion of that is in corporate partnerships, companies who want to give back, but over $31,000 of that has been raised in small dollar amount individual donations from people like you who are watching these briefings or may engage with us on social media. The easiest way to do that is to text the word COVID-19 to 41444, and you can make your contribution. Doesn't matter if it's 5, 50, 500, 5,000. We're all going to do better if everyone gets engaged in this fight. And speaking of getting engaged in the fight, each year we do since my tenure began 2 years ago, we launched a very small 518 day in Washington Park with a very small beautification project. We set a goal for the following year, which would have been a year ago, to have 30 projects with over 300 volunteers. And we had a day with 40 projects and almost 500 volunteers. We collected 11,000 books for kids throughout the Capital Region. And coming out of last year, we wanted to have 50 projects with close to 1,000 volunteers. And then, plans had to change. And realizing that in-person volunteerism is still too risky and not smart in terms of flattening the curve, we have, in about a week's time, reinvented what 518 Day will look like. And so for starters, at the core of 518 Day, May 18th, our area code, it's a day of civic pride, community pride, to be proud of everything that the Capital Region is all about. So on Monday, May 18th, We will continue our with what is really our second annual 518 Day. Let me start by saying you can follow along on the next few things I'm about to say by visiting our website, unitedwaygcr.org, and you can go to /518day and find out all this information yourself. But we have a series of events planned. The biggest things that we'll be doing on that day is we're working with several nonprofit partners to conduct a community-wide baby shower. There's a number of ways you can participate to get much-needed baby supplies to some families that are really struggling right now. You can in-person drop off at Crossgates Mall. We'll be stuffing a CDTA bus. Thank you to Carmen Basile for helping to organize that. You can help us stuff a CDTA bus all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and all day Monday, the 16th, 17th, and 18th, and that's in front of the Dave & Buster's entrance at Crossgates Mall, which should be pretty easy to find. We have an Amazon wish list up on that website I just mentioned, so if you don't feel comfortable coming out in person or you're just too busy, too hectic, but you still want to contribute, you can go on Amazon, buy the items. They'll be delivered right to my office on Washington Ave Extension, and we'll stuff them into the bus for you. In addition to the baby shower, we're going to host a community-wide chalk contest, and while I have him here on live camera, I'm going to put the county executive on the spot, and I'm going to ask him, I know you're super busy.
You got my attention.
I know you're super busy, but we would really appreciate it if you'd help us judge the community's chalk contest on 518 Day.
I would love to.
We promise we'll make it very simple for you, and it won't take too much time. So there we have it. Dan McCoy is now in as a judge of the chalk contest, so you can find out more information on that. In addition to these fun, community-wide civic pride things, we have organized 50 virtual service opportunities. These are opportunities anyone can participate in from the comfort of their home while maintaining social distancing, staying safe, keeping the community safe, and you can get on the website and check those out. We're partnering with Feed Albany. If you remember a couple weeks ago, I was here, Dominic Pernomo was here, the county executive secured a $20,000 grant from Muslim faith leaders in Albany County, and a portion of that went to support Feed Albany, which is an upstart nonprofit of area chefs who are providing meals to out-of-service restaurant workers, needy families, and really repurposing during this crisis to provide much needed support to the community. We're going to provide 518 meals to nurses, support staff, other frontline personnel at Albany Medical Center on May 18th as a show of appreciation from the community for all that they're doing to help us get through this crisis. In addition, there's going to be a series of paid events, $10, $20, like a virtual 5K, a yoga session with our partners at Rooted, a trivia contest that evening at 7 p.m., and a 518 Sweats workout with our partners at Metabolic. Each of those activities will come with a small fee, $10 or $25. 100% of those fees are going to the COVID response fund. So I just want to thank those volunteers who are donating their time to conduct those yoga classes, metabolic classes on our Facebook page that day. So you can participate, you can sign up now. Virtual 5K you can run anytime during the weekend, and you'll get your medal in the mail. So, I think everybody's looking for optimism right now. Everybody's looking for a way to get back. We created 518 Day repurposed it this year with a mindset of we want a way for every single person in this community to find a way to give back. We think we've done it. If we've missed something, you can always reach out to me, Peter, at unitedwaygcr.org. Be happy to consider other ideas and suggestions, but get engaged. This is how you get back to normal, I think, by touching base with those things that you were doing before this crisis struck, and we're trying to create that for you. And can't thank the county executive enough for his support, and sincerely appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, Peter. That's a lot of stuff you put out there. But, a lot of times before this all happened 52 days ago, how many people really took the opportunity, took a step back and enjoyed life, right? Or realized the great stuff around you, because we're all busy and you get tied up in your own world. And it goes to what United Way is doing. It goes to what the medical corps does, working with our health department. No one even really knew we had a medical corps. No one really knew what Dr. Whalen and her team did there day in and day out to get ready for scenarios like this, but addressing other issues in the community. And now you're getting to see it. So if you take anything away from this, it's the nonprofits like United Way and all the other good ones that are out there that are the backbone of our community, that are the fabric of our community that keeps us moving forward. So now you see more than ever why we need people like partnerships with United Way and the leadership under Peter versus before when you might not have taken the time. And it gets me to another point with the American Red Cross, to the 47 families that lost their loved ones, to the 64,000 deaths that happen here across the United States. You run into issues, and like I said, it's a different time. You're running into burial issues, you're running into legal issues, you're running into any type of issue it might be, custody, who takes custody of the children if there's children at a young age, what about if they have a home, and all these other issues that you might not be able to address. But our partners with Albany Red Cross have a program for people that have lost loved ones to this virus to provide both emotional and spiritual support. It's difficult times and they're overwhelming to make funeral arrangements. So they're helping with legal issues and like I said, custody issues. So again, the American Red Cross is stepping up like they always do in every national disaster, not just here in this great country of ours, but across the globe. So to American Red Cross, thank you for everything that you do day in and day out. And there's the number for American Red Cross. It's up on the screen, 957-8187. And it's area code 585, I believe. I can't see without my glasses and I don't have my contacts. Thank you. I appreciate the support from the press corps because I can't see the sign. But, you know, American Red Cross, United Way, thank you for everything that you're doing day in, day out, and everyone that's stepping up. And again, just to give the reality of how things are changing. You know, today for me, I celebrate 31 years in the military. Wow. And I had virtual drill yesterday, and it's different. You know, you got to call in, you got to log on to the computer. You know, and then you have to take these classes and sit through some presentations. So it's kind of weird, you know, but again, the military adapts and overcomes, and that's what they're doing. They're adapting to the situation we're in, and that's what you're gonna see with a lot of businesses that technically thought they had to be in an office space, now that are working home and doing more work. You know, it's, you know, I think they're gonna see their production go up and the costs go down from renting. But again, that hurts the economy too, because now you're out in downtown, you're not renting office complex, you're not out spending at local restaurants. But you're gonna see the theme of things being done differently. So keep that in mind. The other thing I want to point to everyone who is listening to this or watching this, go to the Siena poll that just came out and look at that. I believe 92% of New Yorkers agree that they like the Governor Cuomo's issue on wearing masks out in public. That's a big number. People like the leadership that where it's headed, they're happy with the shutdown. And I know it's anxiety, and I know business owners want to get up and running. We want to be there for you. We want to make sure that you can continue to pay your rent or pay your mortgage. We're going to try to work with all the business owners here in Albany County, and you know, and the governor put a 12-step plan out on how to get back. But you know, it's going to change. And you know, it's funny when I was talking to Staff Sergeant Matthew Wanzer yesterday about how to set up. I was like, all right, how am I supposed to log on? Here I am telling everyone else we're doing all this other stuff, and they had to walk me through it. But again, you miss people, right? I miss my, you know, Sergeant Major Wilsey, and miss Eric Smith, and Fancher, and everyone I worked with in the Guard, you know, because you want to see them. You know, you want to see people, and you have that little get together, and you're glad to have your group, and you want to do your mission. So again, it's like I said, this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. We have to take a step back, we have to take a deep breath, and we gotta readjust to everything that's out there, everything that's different now. And the only way we're gonna do that is doing it together and staying calm. And being, like I keep saying this, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I can say that now to the younger kids because records are back. They used to be CDs now. You know, now it was records when I was growing up. We're back to records, better quality, I guess, according to my son and my daughter. But the reality is this: I sound like a broken record, but we're gonna do this together and be part of the solution, not part of the problem. I love the naysayers. Hey, if that makes you feel good and gets you through the day, great. That's great. I don't mind being your punching bag, but give me some solutions to the issues that you bring up. Just don't complain. And that's all I keep saying to everyone. As always, we have our mental health hotline, 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The number's up there, and then we have the 211 number and the New York State hotline number. As always, people, please take advantage of that.